It all began on a seemingly ordinary morning in Kansas City. Michael Turner, a 35-year-old mechanic, was doing what many of us do before works, scrolling through his phone. But that day, a story stopped him in his tracks. It was a heartbreaking post about a young waitress named Emily Ross. She'd been in a serious car accident and needed urgent surgery. But her insurance had expired just weeks before. Her family, desperate to save her, had sold everything they owned. They had managed to scrape together a significant amount, but they were still short by $20,000, a daunting, impossible sum. Michael didn't know Emily. He had never met her, never even heard her name before. But something about her story struck a deep chord within him. Perhaps it was the memory of his own sister, who had faced a similar crisis years ago. He knew that feeling of helplessness, that desperate hope for a miracle. He couldn't shake the story from his mind. It followed him through his workday, a constant quiet hum in the back of his thoughts. That evening, after a long day at the garage, Michael stood outside his home and looked at his old red pickup truck. This wasn't just any truck. This was his pride and joy, a classic machine he had painstakingly rebuilt with his own father. Every dent, every scratch, told a story. It was more than a vehicle. It was a collection of memories, a symbol of hard work and family connection. It was also his only real asset, the most valuable thing he owned. He thought about Emily, a complete stranger, lying in a hospital bed, her future hanging in the balance. He thought about his truck. And in that quiet moment, under the fading Kansas sky, he made a decision. Without a second thought, without telling anyone what he was planning, he took a few photos and quietly listed his beloved truck for sale online. The ad was simple, honest. He didn't mention why he was selling it, just listed the price and waited. The response was immediate. People loved the truck. It was a classic, beautifully restored. Within 3 days, a buyer came, cash in hand. Michael watched as the new owner drove away, his heart feeling a strange mix of emptiness and purpose. He took the envelope filled with cash, every single dollar from the sale, and drove straight to Emily's family's house. When he handed it to them, they were speechless. Tears streamed down their faces as they tried to comprehend the generosity of the stranger standing on their doorstep. They tried to thank him, to praise him, to find out who this angel was. But Michael gently refused to take any credit. He simply said, "Someday, when you can, help someone else." And with that, he left, leaving behind a family with newfound hope. Weeks later, the news came. Emily's surgery was a success. She was on the long road to recovery, but she was going to be okay. The story of the anonymous mechanic who sold his prized possession to save a stranger started to spread. A local news station picked it up, and from there, it went viral. People were so moved by this incredible act of kindness that donations began to pour in from all over the country. The community rallied, and soon they had raised far more than the $20,000 Michael had donated. The family could not only cover all of Emily's medical bills, but also start to rebuild their lives. When a reporter finally tracked Michael down and asked him how he felt about losing something he loved so dearly, his answer was simple and profound. He smiled, a genuine warm smile, and said, "I didn't lose anything. I traded metal for a miracle." He saw it not as a loss, but as an exchange, a trade of something material for something infinitely more valuable, a human life. The story didn't end there. Kindness, as it often does, created a ripple. A few months later, as Michael was leaving work, he found a group of strangers waiting for him in the parking lot. They were people from the community, people who had been inspired by his story. And parked right there, gleaming under the streetlights, was a brand new truck. They handed him the keys and a thank you letter. The letter ended with the very same words he had spoken to Emily's family. "When you can help someone else." Michael stood there, overwhelmed, realizing that the kindness he had put out into the world had found its way back to him, multiplied. This story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest wealth we can ever possess isn't what we keep for ourselves, but what we choose to give away. It shows us that one small act of generosity can start a chain reaction, creating miracles we never thought possible. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more inspiring content. We'd love to have you as part of our community. Till next time, take care.